10 World's Most Dangerous People 2022. 10 Most Dangerous People in the World. People in the world. Natural volcanoes, storms, floods, and other natural calamities are not necessarily the only dangers. People, on the other hand, pose a serious threat to the life of others. Dangerous men do not appear anywhere. He was once a youngster who may have been impacted by environmental and psychological changes. Who knew a cute baby would grow up to be one of the world's most deadly men? When it comes to becoming a rescuer on his own terms, a dangerous guy has an incredibly high sense of vanity. They are considered criminals. They are actually wanted by international penal organizations. Harold Shipman, dubbed Dr. Death for killing 218 victims, is one of the deadliest persons who have ever lived. While working as a preferred British physician, a married husband managed to squeeze in 218 credited murders while functioning as one of history's deadliest serial killers. One, Ayman al-Zawahiri, co-founder of Al-Qaeda and current leader on the Afghan-Pakistan border. His aims and ambitions are to punish Christian and Jewish atrocities against Muslims throughout history and to control one Islamic political leadership across the Arab world. And to push non-Muslims out of Saudi Arabia, where the holiest places of Islam are located. Apart from advocating for the murder of non-Muslims, he has lately dispatched warriors to Syria and attempted to persuade ISIS to join other civil coalition of America, Russia, Europe, Shiites, and Iran, as well as Bashar al-Alawite Assad's dictatorship. 2. Cody Wilson. Cody Wilson has already built a name for himself by working on some of the most well-known digital projects ever. Rose to prominence as the creator of the Liberator, the first completely 3D printed pistol in the world. He wants to make it possible for anybody, wherever in the world, to build a lethal plastic weapon with a single click. Wilson might be investigated for alleged unlawful weapons exports, and if convicted, he could face up to 7 years in jail. The sentence might be increased if it can be demonstrated that his acts posed severe harm to U.S. national and regional security interests. 3. Yasser Abdul Said. Said is a former cab driver from Egypt who is suspected of murder. He was born on January 27, 1957, and he is an FBI fugitive wanted for his alleged role in the killings of his 2 adolescent children on January 1, 2008. He was residing in Irving, Texas at the time. Said eluded capture for 12 years following the deadly shootings of his 2 daughters, Amina, 18, and Sarah, 17, on January 1, 2008. Their remains were discovered in an abandoned taxi car on the premises of the Mandalay Hotel, now the Omni Las Colinas Hotel, in Irving, Texas. Said was apprehended without incident on August 26, 2020, in Justin, Texas. The Northern District of Texas will be the venue for his trial for unlawful flight to avoid prosecution. 4. Semyon Mogilevich. The Ukrainian-born criminal lord is thought to be the boss of bosses of the world's most powerful Russian mafia syndicates, operating beyond borders. His main desires are money and power, and in order to obtain them, he engages in narcotics trafficking, nuclear material trade, contract killings, and international prostitution. To keep the money coming, he has set up over 100 front businesses and bank accounts in 27 different countries. In 2008, Russian authorities detained Mogilevich for tax evasion for a cosmetics firm, Arbat Prestige, using one of his numerous aliases, Sergei Schneider. The fees were abolished 3 years later. He's on the FBI's wanted list for his role in a $150 million fraud scheme. 5. Ibrahim al-Asiri is a Saudi fighter who also serves as al-Qaeda's bomb constructor, the bomb maker extraordinaire. He uses PETN in explosives that X-ray machines are unable to detect. In 2009, he is thought to have created the underwear bomb that was used in an attempt to attack a US-bound jet. His most serious crime is teaching his skills to Al-Qaeda trainees, prompting the US to issue credible threat warnings in July 2014, which resulted in increased security on all direct flights. 6. Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, ISIS. Leader of the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria. What he wants is to build his own Islamic State, or Caliphate, across northern Syria and eastern Iraq and to become known as Caliph Ibrahim, to whom all Muslims will pledge allegiance. ISIS has also produced a 5-year expansion plan that encompasses the Middle East, the Arabian Peninsula, Northern Africa, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and India. Al-Qaeda severed connections with ISIS early this year due to its violence, but the organization has since taken control of more than half of Iraq, enforcing the extreme Wahhabi brand of Islam and implementing a rigid version of Sharia law in those regions. 7. Joseph Kony. Former Lord's Resistance Army, LRA, commander. What he desires is a theocratic state based on the Ten Commandments and the Alkali tradition. Officials from the government have accused Kony of ordering the kidnapping of children with the intent of converting them into child soldiers and sex slaves. 66,000 kids enlisted in the army. Between 1986 and 2009, 2 million individuals were internally displaced. The International Criminal Court in The Hague, Netherlands, accused Kony in 2005 of war crimes and crimes against humanity, but he has eluded arrest. He's been driven, and many of Kony's troops have deserted him. Kony is thought to be unwell, and if the pressure to terminate the LRA and negotiate his surrender is maintained, he will be apprehended. 8. El Mayo, Ismael Zambada, drug lord of the Sinaloa cartel. His aim is to keep his position as the leader of a multi-billion-dollar criminal enterprise. He engages in trafficking in the United States and Europe, money laundering, and a lucrative kidnapping sideline. The Sinaloa cartel's power is bolstered by horrific mass executions of rival gangs and civilians in order to maintain loyalty. The cartel's communications network has been infiltrated, according to the House Committee on Homeland Security, which is how the cartel's former frontman, the notorious Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, was apprehended after 13 years on the run. Naro Diabolik. The mafia chief wants to fix the mistakes that have been made against the poor and disadvantaged while also making a lot of money. This might be one of the reasons he's one of the most dangerous guys on the planet, and guess how he does it? He just joins any profitable business, such as retail complexes, food delivery companies, wind farms, and agriculture. They are so large that it's difficult to tell where the budget of Western Sicily ends and his jurisdiction begins. During the early 1990s, he was involved in a bombing campaign run by the Sicilian Mafia. This resulted in the deaths of magistrates and onlookers in Sicily, Rome, and Florence, as well as 50 other people. 10. Mokhtar Belmokhtar. Al-Qaeda affiliate Al-Murabitown is led by an Algerian jihadist. His goal is to turn Al-Qaeda into a worldwide terrorist organization capable of carrying out strikes across Western Europe and operating from coast to coast in Africa. Mr. Marlborough recruits foreign jihadis returning from Syria for fresh terror attacks, which are supported by the illegal tobacco trade. He is suspected of being behind the attack on an Algerian gas facility last year, in which 40 hostages were slain, as well as a recently revealed Eiffel Tower terror plot. After surviving a gun duel with counter-terrorism police, Belmokhtar's supporters dubbed him the Uncatchable. Similar attacks will be launched within Libyan borders, where Belmokhtar is believed to be, said Mokhtar Belhassan, a jihadist movement specialist. Conclusion. Dangerous people always have a reason for committing the acts they committed. They feel they are rectifying injustice and achieving higher goals, but in the end, crime and danger are inextricably linked to financial assistance. Chaos is inevitable. If men with unstable minds and beliefs are allowed to roam free, they will harm society and the globe at large.